Shalom, Yasharala. Yabrakam Yabashama Shagawa Shai. Let's get right to it. Very smart of you. Shaquat, wash up, Shah. We got Kayaya in the background. She's supposed to be taking a nap, but she hasn't yet. All right, so she'll be laying in the background, being quiet and listening while we finish up our Torah portion reading. Kayaya actually chose the background. So Kayaya chose our moon, our Mama Moon background. So the water Kayaya for that. Greatly appreciate you. Okay, hallelujah. All right, greatly appreciate you. All right, so let's get straight to it. All right. So this week's Torah portion, we're going to be reading the book of Genesis. All right, Genesis chapter 47. All right, so, and we're going to be reading through Genesis chapter 50. All right, 47. So let's pull that up real quick. Genesis chapter 47, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. We're also going to start our screen share. All right, so people will be able to see what it is we're doing. All right, and here's this link if you want to join. All right, link is copied, and here is our screen share. Our screen share is Torah portion, including sound. Now it's up. So this week's Torah portion. Now, as you can see, we're going to be reading from this website right here, which is called First Fruits of Zion. I like the website. It's very cool. It's very cool. It's very convenient, but hey, buddies. Hey, where's my buddies? Oh, here you go. But we also, students such as myself, we also have these very old books, which, these were passed down to me by my elders. So but you may have books from some of your libraries that have the Torah portions printed in the back of them also. If you don't, you can use this website. The website is very convenient. All right. Vayechi, Vayechi. So I apologize. My modern pronunciation mixes up with my paleo tongue. If that makes sense. All right. So Genesis chapter 47. All right, starting at verse 28 through chapter 50. 26 is where we'll be reading through. That ain't a doozy. Man, that's doing some push-ups, man. And I want to say that too. Doing the Torah portion, it's a spiritual thing. It's you gotta think there's young men that are conditioned from childhood. There's young men that are taught to stand and read the Torah for hours. So if anybody would like to, we can open up the conference call number. That would be a convenience also. Just post it in the room. All right, so let me go ahead and help there. That's done out there. Boom. Boom. All right, so by memory. Genesis chapter 47, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. Let's share this tab. And we're going to get our reading on. All right, hope you can hear me okay. If you can hear me okay, put a 7 in the room. All right, if I can be heard. And let's turn this audio down. All right, I think that's good because we don't want to wake up Soraya. Okay? Shh, don't wake Soraya. All right. All right, so Genesis chapter 47, and we're going to be starting at verse 28. Genesis chapter 47, verse 28. We're going to be reading through chapter 50, verse 26. All right. So starting down. And before we get started, I would really like to do 47, 28. I would like to do I would like to do a conference call because I know that there's some that actually that like to do the conference call session. They like to do the conference call setup, so it's really helpful. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it could be It'll be time consuming. This is Shang-Yi. All right. Oh, that's right. I can't. That's crazy. I can't even get on there. So I got put in Facebook jail a couple weeks back or a couple months back. So you know, that's the challenge. All right. CM, all right. Conference number. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Genesis chapter 47, verse 28. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. So 147 years. He lived longer than 108 age of years of 120. All right. And the time drew near that Israel must die. Oh no, it's almost time for our grandfather to pass away. All right. He's been on a mighty journey. Uh, Now, you know what I didn't see mentioned yet here was Leah's death. Why wasn't Leah's death? You know, I got to go back and look. And the time drew nigh that Israel, our father, must die. And he called his son Joseph. And let's turn this down just a little bit more. All right. No, that's all the way off. One more. Got it. All right. I was trying to get it right in that perfect place. All right. Um, okay. So now, somebody, I need somebody to walk through that with me. So I don't remember the death of Leah. Where did Leah die at? All right, I remember Rachel's, but I need help with that. Leah. All right. So, and the time came nigh that Israel, right, and he called his son Joseph and said unto him, "Now, if I have found grace in thy sight." Remember, Joseph is now like the vice president of all of Egypt, right? So we're living in the best of the land. Now, if I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Matazadium. We see the same thing happen also with our father Abraham, which is such a beautiful segue. There was a Gentile man whose name was Eleazar, and Eleazar was a servant of our father Abraham. And Eleazar, not only being a servant of our father Abraham, he had all of our father Abraham's wealth and riches. And Eleazar even brought back our mother Rebecca for us. So Eleazar, he puts his hand under Abraham's thigh. And for what I have seen, for what I have seen, uh, this covenant shows the closest connection, that you can have to a man in truth and virtue. You know, before handshake, this was a covenant. We would sit across from each other, place our hand on each other's thigh, and make a vow. So we see our father and his servant, which was, Eleazar did the same thing, but our father now, Jacob, right? So this is a custom, this is a tradition that we know of. This must be a Chaldean custom. This must be a Chaldean custom, all right? Because Abraham was a Chaldean, and so are you, all right, descendants of Yeshua. But will lie me with my fathers, and thou shalt carry me out of my Tazari of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. And he said, I will do as thou said. And he said, swear unto me. And he swore unto him. And Yashua bowed himself upon his bed head. Kala Shaddai, the body Yahweh, Na Aisha, Wa Na Shemai. All that Yahweh said will we do and hear. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, behold, thy father. And he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Joseph and said, behold, thy son Yahusap cometh unto thee. And Yasharallah strengthened himself and sat upon his bed. While Aiquab Amarla Yahusap, and Jacob said unto Joseph, Yahweh Allah Shadia, I believe that might be Ra'ah, I have to look, appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me. Let me look at this, see what this appeared is. Waya Shadia appeared. So Ra'ah, so Ba Ra'ah. So in appearance of, or Ba Ra'ah. All right. So, and it came to pass after these things, right, we are in verse, Almighty appeared, verse 3. And Jacob said unto Joseph, Almighty God appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me, and said unto me, behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make thee a multitude of people, and I will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. And now thy two sons, Padium wa Manasseh, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt. Point. Keep note of this, everybody. Ephraim and Manasseh's mother were a non-Israelite woman. She was a virtuous Gentile woman whose name was Asenath. Hold that point real quick. Joseph and Asenath. All right, let's go to the screen real quick. All right, so you'll see in the movie King of Egypt or the Prince of Egypt, y'all remember this cartoon? Joseph and Asenath is, which was, I think it's better than this. This Asenath, she does not look very attractive. Why does she have a double chin? I don't know. No, so why does she have the bags under her eyes? I don't know. Maybe this was two children. I don't know. Whatever. But she got the Frodo. She don't got, whatever. So, this is of course a rendition, but here you can actually just go TORAH.com. Let's see if we can find a good one. Sacred text, Joseph and Asenath. All right. So here's a website that you can read from. All right. Joseph and Asenath, the story of Asenath. All right. So you can check out the two comparisons if you want to. You can just go to Joseph and Asenath, boom, Apocryphal Testament, etc. All right. And for me, it was a very good read. It showed how Joseph operated in the spirit of chastity and the spirit of purity. Him being set apart is where his glory resided in. Also, him forgiving his brothers. It always amazes me when somebody sees you specifically go through a trial and then also assist you in, attempting to stomp you out in your trial. You know what I mean? Like somebody will be there and they'll see you, maybe have a car accident or lose something. And then, they'll be there in your next test to help, depress you in it. So Joseph did an excellent job, which I said this before, certainly I am no Joseph. So I've said that before. Bible Shah, if you're watching, share. Hey, Shalom, I know who's watching. Your par Shalom, your par creation. So that's fine. Yeah, I'm showing that. Shalom, Mashaka. So again, remembering Joseph's situations, seeing and seeing how terrible I did in mine, like going through my trial, I did exactly what Yahweh told the children of Yeshua not to do, which was murmur, not complain, but it's having the opportunity to have new situations and tests, and then faithful people, like my rib, specifically, brethren, by your side, they can help remind you, they help remind you of what the Torah says. So if anybody would like to, and then that'll help keep you sharp. So Joseph and Asnath, all right, is a wonderful narrative. Okay, let's go back to the Torah portion. Boom, share his tabs there. Verse 5. And thy two sons is what our father Jacob is saying, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee, right, in the land of Egypt. Their mother was a Canaanite, all right, in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. All right. So I really love that. And a part of it was because, the Most High really blessed me with this one. The Most High, he just really blessed my spirit. So our father Abraham, our father Isaac, their wives did not like the Canaanite women, did not like the women of the land, did not like the Gentile women out surrounding areas, and didn't think their children were fit to be given to their sons. And we see right here our father, Yaakov, Jacob, him loving his son, apart him so much. He's saying, your son, you know, and even blessing them outside of the fact that they weren't married from the people of the land. All right. So I don't know if anybody want to put that in Gentile salvation category, but there you go. All right. Beware of him that winketh with the eye. Yeah. So anyway, but there's a very beautiful verse that shows, our father Yaakov, he loved Apadium, Manasseh. He loved Ephraim and Manasseh, born of his son, Yahusaf, Joseph, even being of the priests of the Egyptians' bloodlines daughter. Right. So blessed to our father, man. That's what a beautiful example he just set for me. Right. So what did he say? He says, Genesis chapter 48. So love all children. That's my point. Genesis chapter 48, verse 5. All right. And now, thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine, as Reuben and Simeon. They shall be mine. Verse 6. And thy issue, which thou begottest after them, shall be mine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance.
You might so light up. You might see up. You might so light up.
As for me, Genesis chapter 48, verse 7, and for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way. Allah, Kwan. Okay, then go that way to go to the pot. Genesis chapter 48, verse 7, as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come unto Ephrath, and I buried her in the way of Ephrath, the same is Bethlehem. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons and said, who are these? Now, here's my question. Why didn't it talk about Leah's death? I don't know everything. Question. Where somebody might be like, oh, it's right here. Just remind me, where is Leah's death mentioned? And is it mentioned in great amount? It might be one of those things I just skimmed over. And Leah died and they moved to the land of, I don't know, or I might have just been, so where's the verse that talks about Leah's death? Because I read where it talks about Leah's death and other animals. La Shaquat. Kayaya. Go that way. Stop running. Get on the bed, Shaquat. So, Kwamlaba, Baba Kusha. Genesis chapter 48, verse 8. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons and said, who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, these are my sons, whom Allahiah, who God hath given me in this place. And he said, bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, Yahweh, Yah, hath showed me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand. And he and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid upon Ephraim's hand, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands willingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day. Verse 16. The angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be blessed on them, in the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father had laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head and unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. And he blessed them that day, saying, indeed shall Yasharallah bless, saying, blessed may be as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. And Yasharallah said unto Yahushua, before I die, Genesis chapter 48, verse 21. And Israel, Yasharallah, said unto Yahushua, behold, I die. But God shall be with you and bring you again unto the land of your fathers. Verse 22. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite, with the sword and with my bow. Kalashada, Debari Yahweh, Na'isha, Wana Shemai. All that Yahweh has said, will we do and hear. Genesis chapter 48. All right. Huh? All right. What are you doing? Chop, chop, Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And Yaakov, Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you which shall befall you in the last days. Now, before we even get started, this is where a lot of Yasharim get the game mixed up, because they turn their focus away from the prophecies of Genesis chapter 49, and they put their attention on a man whose name was Ariah. And they'll say, Ariah made the 12 tribes try. Ariah this, Ariah that. The reality of it is I haven't, and then they'll try to poke holes in it and say, well, who is this and where is this people then why aren't they mentioned? Because you haven't done the footwork to actually make a better 12 tribes chart. So we have a ground basis, diagram that shows what will be the prophecies of where the children of Israel will be in the last days. A lot of the people that are from the Israelite community, especially those that don't believe in so-called 12 tribes chart, a lot of people will say like that from, let's say, example, what I like to refer as, being known as the Northern Kingdom. A lot of them learned from Black Hebrew Israelite Negroes from from the Southern Kingdom, who taught them or who actually seen something that was called the 12 Tribes Chart. And then once they got into their bag about having a problem with something that something they didn't understand, it's just the 12 Tribes Chart is no good, but it is some good. Shop shop, it is some good. And the reason why it's some good is because it even helped to point a picture to help our people to see who they are in the first place. 12 Tribes Chart. It's something so easy. You can just go to YouTube and Google and say. You can just say 12 tribe chart, 12 tribe chart. Before this time frame of error, and I praise Yahweh that He allowed me and my family to be inside the truth. Let me see what this is. To be in the truth before this became popular, before the publication of it became popular, before the imagery. All right, I remember the year when this one came out. We was like, oh, somebody came out with a new one. Shop, aita, shakwats, la. Oh, somebody came out with, oh, okay, I remember this. I had the blessing of me and my mashpachah being around during that time frame, or before, like some of you also, right, who were aware. But the point is that what people do is they take their focus off of the prophecies that are written right here, and then here goes something else. Here, let me go to this real quick. This became so popular, you know what I'm saying? Even if somebody would say, it's false, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And with all this yelling, the majority of you Negroes and you so-called Hispanics, learned who you were by this being produced, irregardless of it. A lot of people haven't even met Elder Ariana, and they speak negatively against him as if they knew him. They say lies and hypocrisy, saying stuff like, oh, yeah, we just heard he got it from this and this. And it's like, they ain't even talk to him. All right. So this is what I'll do is I'm going to go through the reading of the Genesis chapter 49. And in the process of going through the reading of Genesis chapter 49, you might end up finding yourself. See, because here's what's so funny. You have things like this, right? A negative or X over the 12 tribe chart. But you won't see a lot of these so-called Hispanics or, whatever other, Negroes too, that are casting shade on things like this. You know what I'm saying? So where, oh, it's okay for all of the 12 tribes. Well, that's the 12 disciples, right? All the 12 tribes, 12 disciples to be all white or to be all Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? But whenever the image or the concept is brought up that it's you Negroes, so-called North American Indians, and if you don't want to deal with the ones that's a little lighter hue, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? But our nationality did come up under these ensigns. Our nationality did live in places to where these, not only these logos, colors, fringes, customs are shop, very much still relevant. Very much still relevant. You know what I'm saying? So the creativity of some of the haters is just ridiculous. So you have some hard work putting like this 12 tribes of Israel, and then somebody will put lie at the top, but then can't make a chart that show anything better. It's not like this diagram is showing something negative. It's showing people that have been oppressed, that have been through the slavery conditions, that have fit the circumstances, of what the Bible clearly explains the children go through. It shows that, listen, you people are a part of that. So, where a lot of people have an issue at, I see, I see things differently. So, okay, Salak, Atasha Kwad Kayaya, stop pulling her and calling her to you because you causing her to be rude and loud. So, Atasha Kwad, Khan. So, Atasha Kwad, Shab Shabaita, Kayaya first. Khan. Second shot. Torah. All right, so let's do this real quick, and for the sake of time, I believe we're just going to read through. All right, Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And Yaakov called his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you which shall befall you in the last days, right? The last days. Okay, let's look at this real quick. All right, we are currently in the last days. Testament of the patriarchs. Excuse me, Shaquat. You stood over. Shaquat. Come over here. Come over here. You come over here, Baba. Come over here, Baba. Yeah, you stay up there. Come. And shop. All right, the water. All right, so you can get this book for yourself. All right, you can do the research on it. The Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Shaquatch, don't get louder than me. It's okay to make sounds, but just don't get louder than Abba, okay? All right, so you can look up the Testament of 12 Patriarchs. You can get this writing for yourself. You can find out, if you want to investigate and see if it's true. All right, the thoughts concerning Reuben, okay, before Reuben died. All right, so is it possible that Reuben wrote a letter to his children? Jacob? Is it possible that Levi wrote a letter to his children before he died on his, not only his mental state, but how he was operating and wrong and right? Is it possible that Judah, which we teach is the father of the African Americans, the Negroes that was sold into America, descendants of the slave trade? You come from Alabama, Kentucky, Mississippi, Georgia, Ohio. You come from the South, the deep roots, North, all these places where, and and you have the same biblical prophecies written about you that the Bible says will happen for the tribe of Judah. How can you not be the Israelites that the Bible speaks of? So the Testament of Judah concerning what? Concerning fortitude and love of money and fornication. Ain't that what's in the music videos? Ain't that what's in the music videos today? Love of money, women, fornication. You Negroes can't not be the tribe of Judah. All of the signs point right to you. So the point of saying all that is to say, whenever you're studying Genesis chapter 49, all right, you'll also see here. Let me copy and paste this over here so you'll be able to go and look at it for yourself. All right, okay. Genesis chapter 49, and then what you'll be able to do is say, oh, okay, hey, I see that or I don't see that now. All right, hey, Shabbat Shalom, how Shema. All right, all praise. Family in the house. Hallelujah. So here's the link. All right, sit out here. Make sure you don't blow shofar. Kaya, stop jumping up and down. All right, Con. You're saying Con. Okay, so there's the link for you to go and check it out for yourself. All right. And hey, Shabbat Shalom. Kanai, what kind of hallelujah. All right, so again, we're gonna try to get through it kind of swiftly. Oh, I didn't even have the thing if I wasn't sharing. Oh, I had the image up, but I wasn't screen sharing. People sticks and all right. All right, so let me start again. Shh, quiet. Baba Kusha. All right, so start our screen sharing back on Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. All right, and everybody should be able to see that. There we go. All right. So, boom. So here's our link for the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Shabbat Shalom, Lakanai, Wakanawan. All right, and here's our link for the pseudepigrapher for the story of Joseph and Asnat. All right, on purity, on chastity. All right, and then here we are, this week's Torah portion. All right, so, all right, let's finish getting through it. So you can see the connection. All right, he that commits fornication and uncovers his nakedness has become a servant of fornication and escapes not from the power thereof, even as I was uncovered. All right. For I gave my staff and my stay, my tribe, and my girdle, and that is my power, and my diadem and my glory, that is my kingdom. Everyone remembers when Judah did that when he dealt with, what was it, Tamar? All right. What was her name? Salak, when he dealt with his daughter-in-law. All right. So you'll see that in the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, is it possible that just like Joseph, just like Israel did, the Testament of Issachar, see, concerning simplicity. And then you'll go and look and be like, yo, that's how the Mexican people act. That's how the so-called Hispanics act. All right. The Testament of Zebulon concerning compassion and mercy. And you'd be like, wow, the people that's over there in Guatemala really do behave like the people from the tribe of Zebulon. All right. So it's not just about a 12 tribes. I got the dance. It's not okay. Shut. Quiet. Come on, Shaquat. So, you come to a situation. It's okay to cry. Just not allow it to happen. Okay? It's okay to cry. Tawana. I'm sorry that happened. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Con?
Sorry,
No, 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 no. I want you to Shaquat. You get to say Salakia, but you have to be quiet for now. All right. All right. So we get to see, did the condition of our forefathers, Naphtali, did he go through these conditions? And you're gonna find out that, they line up. You know, I've seen it for myself, you have to see it for yourself. A lot of people want to be convincing or want to be convinced, you know what I'm saying? Faithless generations are at the sign. Kaya atala, la, shakwat. And Jacob called unto his sons, Genesis Barashah, chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you which shall befall you in the last days. Right? Now hold that thought real quick. We're going to come over to this screen here. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 33, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. Blue Letter Bible. Good job. You can repeat that, though. So, Deuteronomy chapter 33. Now, listen, Shemai Lava, this is Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, Yahweh came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them, and shined from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints, and from his right hand with a fiery lawfare. Yea, he loved the people. All his saints are in his hand. And they sat down.
I want her to know. Yeah.
Go get some tissue. Bring it back. Okay. So starting at verse, if you get a chance, everybody start at verse 7. And from verse 7, you'll see the same list that's in Genesis chapter 49. All right. So you see the same list that's in Genesis chapter 49, that's in Deuteronomy chapter 33. All right. And then if you choose to, you can also take the testament of the great job. You can also take the testament of the patriarchs. Yeah. You can also take the testament of the patriarchs and you can line those up, and then those three should be able to help you on your journey of understanding. All right. So let's get back to this real quick. Try to get through it as quick as you can. Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob called his sons and said unto them, gather yourselves together that I may tell you what shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Yaakov, sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, starting with the first. And we'll see the same thing in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 33, and then also in the testament of the 12 patriarchs. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and excellency of power, unstable as water. Thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up unto thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi, my brethren, instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, my honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I am divided. I will divide them in the Iqua, and will scatter them in Yashra Shaddai. The water. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in the Iqab, I will scatter them in Yasharala. Right? Judah, thou art he who thy brethren shall despise, and thy hand shall be on the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp, from From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stoopeth down, he croucheth as a lion, as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Genesis chapter 49, verse 11. Verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be, binding his fold unto the vine, and his ass coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Zebulun, verse 13, shall dwell as a haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his borders shall be unto Zidon. Issachar is a strong ass crouching down between two burdens, and he saw that rest was good, and the land it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant to tribute. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Yasharallah. Dan shall be as a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that biteth the horse heals, so that his rider shall fall backwards. I have waited for thy salvation, O Yahweh. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Out of Ashar his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the Almighty of Yaiquab. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Yasharallah. Verse 25. Even by the Elohai of my father, who shall help thee, and by the mighty one who shall bless thee. Where you going? Get back here. You try to sneak out. I can see out my peripheral vision. Get back up there. Come on. Shaquat. 25. Even by the God of thy Abba, who shall help thee, by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven, above blessings of the deep, and under blessings of the breast and of the womb. Verse 26. And the blessing of thy father have prevailed above the blessing of thy progenitors, unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. And these are the 12 tribes of Yasharallah, and this is it that their father spake unto them, and blessed them, every one according to his blessing. He blessed them, and he charged them, and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave in the field, Ephraim the Hittite. In the cave in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abram bought in the field of Ephraim the Hittite, and Salaka for a possession and a burying place. And they buried Abram and Sarah's wife, Sarah his wife, and there they buried Isaac and Rebekah, his wife, and there I buried Leah. What? I gotta go back to that. The purchase of the field and of the cave. That. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, I just seen something. Okay, so verse 31. There they buried Abram and Sarai, Abram and Sarai, his wife, and there they buried Isaac and Rebekah, his wife, and there I buried Leah. All right. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is written therein was from the children of Heth. And when Yaquab had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet unto his bed, and yielding up the ghost, he was gathered unto his people. Hallelujah, 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 halashara, the body of Yahweh, Na'isha, Wanashamai, all that Yahweh said, what we're doing here. So many jewels that's in here that's showing us, why the understanding of the 12 tribes of Yasharallah being scattered from the interior of America to the exterior of America. And some people will say, well, excuse me, yeah, and some people, I've heard them say, well, why isn't this place mentioned on there? They scattered over there because they just weren't mentioned on there. I guess it wasn't time to. Maybe it's your time to. So the discrepancy with a lot of people that they have from the so-called 12 tribes chart are the same, that I haven't really seen put in put a lot of work into actually making not only a new one, but actually upgrading. So like, no, we won't. No, you won't. You're not about to sit there and make yourself fake cry. No, you won't. Fly, walk, the water. Thank you so much. Turn it off. Scripture says, "I weep for every cause." Lie, the water. All right, Yagua, she actually sleepy. You've been up playing. You know what I'm saying? So you trying to get the sherbet? You want the sherbet? You want the ice cream? You do? Okay, you quiet. Yeah. What's up? Oh my bad. You realized it was a ploy. She realized it was a trap. All right. So anyway, point of saying such to say is you do have these other references, such as once again the Testament of the 12 patriarchs. Something that I like about this is not only does the archaeology, the geography, there's something that's in here. It's a will, it's a deed, all right, that's given to us. There's a land possession that we still to this day own. There's a possession, and that's another thing. The African Americans, so-called Negroes, so-called Hebrew Israelites, really don't consider that we own anything. But Revelation to Mashiach Yahushua, Christ the Messiah, who the world sometimes ignorantly and accidentally calls Jesus Christ. So, who the world accidentally and ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. A lot of times, we don't remember that he said, "But ye are rich." You see? So Joseph, he purchased land from the Canaanites, land that was inherited for Pharaoh that the children of Israel had ease to. All right. So these are things that's not taken into consideration, but they should be. Oh, yeah, I'm the boy. I used to be too, just like you. Now I am not. Ooh, Thank you, guys. Yeah, that's right. All right. So back to it. All right. Yes. All right. So with that being said, Boston, all right, it's not time for that. Hey, Shalak, it's not time for that. All right. So with that being said, we got Genesis chapter 50, and we're gonna read down to verse 26. All right, Genesis chapter 50 and verse 26. So let's get to it. All right, that would be the conclusion of just the law portion of the prophet portion. You also have the law portion of the gospel of the Torah portion. You also have the prophet portion, which the prophet portion this week, First Kings. Keep your hands out your mouth, so you won't have. So you have fingernails. First Kings tells us to show thyself a man and keep the law of the Most High. Show yourself a man. You know what I'm saying? All right, show yourself a man and keep the law of the Most High. It had nothing to do with finances. Ain't got nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, being a cage fighter. It's will you keep the law, statutes, commandments, and judgments of Yahweh. King, Prince, or Papa, right? So Genesis chapter 50, verse 1. And Joseph fell upon his father's face and wept and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants and physicians to embalm his father. And the physicians embalmed Yasharallah. And 40 days were fulfilled for him. For so are they fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 70 days. And guess what else, Shariah? Guess what else? And when the days of the morning were past, Shariah, when the days of the morning were past, Joseph spake unto the house of Pharaoh. Guess what he said? You don't know, thank you? Okay, he said, saying, now, if I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, into the ears of Pharaoh, saying, my father made me swear, Kayaya, saying, lo, I die in my grave, which I dig for me in the land of Canaan. There shalt thou bury me, Sariah. And therefore, let me go, I pray thee, and bury my father, and I will come again. Khan? Okay, Thuwada. Okay. Verse 6. And Pharaoh said, go up and bury thy father according as he made thee swear. And Yahweh Joseph, guess what he did, Kayaya?
Yes.
He went up and he buried his Abba. He buried his father. And with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh. So they were Gentiles. So there was a whole bunch. All of the Gentiles went up and went to our grandfather's funeral. Thank you to all of the Gentiles who went to our grandfather's funeral. And they didn't say, we're not going to Jacob's funeral because he's a black Hebrew Israelite and we're racists. No, they said we're Canaanites, we're Hamites, and we're black too. And we're going to go to this great Hebrew man's funeral. So with him went up all of his servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt. I'm just finding Gentiles everywhere, even more so than before. Whatever. Now let's just find them everywhere so I can show you. Right. So verse 7. All right. So verse 8. And the house of Pharaoh, more Gentiles, and his brethren, and his father's house, only their little ones and their flocks and their herds they left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and with a very great company. And there came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Yarden, Jordan. And there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. And when the inhabitants of the land of the Canaanites saw the mourning and the floor of Atad, they said, it is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians, wherefore the name of it was called Abel Mizraim, which is beyond Jordan. Now, something I want to point out with this real quick is that Jacob, our father Jacob, was so grandiose, was so royal, was so regal that he was Salakwaya. Wa'a. Atahawak washab aita khayaya. Aita. Khan? Shaquat. Sing. That they thought that Jacob's funeral was the death of a pharaoh. That's how great Jacob's funeral was. That the Gentile people around the land. Now, I will encourage you all, read this in the book of Flavius Josephus and also read it in the book of the Upright. And you'll see Jacob's funeral was phenomenal. And then Also, there's a narrative that Esau tried to start his, not himself, but his sons tried to actually start a fight at a funeral. All right, so verse 12. And his sons said unto him, according to as he commanded them, for his sons carried him into the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of Machpelah, which Abram bought with the field for the possession of a burying place of Ephron the Hittite before Mamre. All right, I want to do something real quick. So this name, I want to take this name right here, Abram Mizam, Abram Mizam. The name Martha's already mixed in. But hold on, Sarah. Okay, well, one moment we have to eat our clothes. We have to eat our food first. All right, so okay, it's almost time to, but we have to finish going through the Torah first. Let's go through the law of Yahweh first, and then once we finish, then we'll do that. So a few things I know that I'm gonna do some archaeology, a little digging, playing around myself. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. I want to do this. I want to see Abba Mitzrayim because Abba Mitzrayim appears to be the same place of Machpelah, which is, and it's so crazy about this is that, our antiquities have been known about for a long time by a lot of different nations. You know what I'm saying? So Yashar Allah just now finding out things. You have to think the CIA, has been doing about Noah's Ark forever. You know, Mount Ararat anomaly. You see this? Mount Ararat anomaly. All right, mountain in Turkey. All right, so this is where Noah's Ark has been documented to have been found. All right, but you also have the CIA, which coined the phrase or came up with the phrase the Mount Ararat anomaly. So the point of saying that is to say, is this information been here? So when we're looking for the cave of Machpelah, we gotta take into consideration that, saying the world powers that be have already been all through there. Like even when we get like the Dead Sea Scrolls, they've already been picked through. So Genesis chapter 50 and verse 13, for the sons carried him to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abram bought with the field for possession, for a burying place of Ephron the Hittite before Mamre. And Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brethren, and all that went up with him to bury his father after they had buried his father. So something I really like about this narrative is that the Gentile presence was greater than the 12 tribes presence in this case. You know what I'm saying? The Gentiles from all over the land came and thought it was a great pharaoh. That's how, and if somebody tries to say for whatever reason, the point is Pharaoh and all of his house, except for the little ones and the animals, had to stay back. So our father was treated with great great royalty. And again, reading reading Jacob's burial from the book of the Upright, it just describes his casket, his burial, his tomb, his encasement, and I personally believe that the world has sought out for his casket. But all right, so let's read on. Just finishing up. All right. Yadla, fingers out your mouth. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him. That had to hurt Joseph's feelings so bad. First of all, he went through the time frame of his brothers treating him like a schlub, like a hater. You know what I'm saying? Then he went through the time frame of, Basadar. He went through the time frame of feeling it himself, kind of Basadar. Then he went through the time frame of forgiving his brethren. Then he took care of them. You know what I'm saying? Our father Joseph, my uncle Joseph, had us on the world's coldest. Yeah, Yahweh was God Noah. Our uncle was Joseph. He had us on the world's most beautiful government assistance program. And then after our Abba Zaquan, after our grandfather died, everybody started acting funny. Yeah, come on. everybody started acting funny against you again just because I was a foreign pass. Just because I was, that had to hurt Joseph so much, man. Con. You know what I'm saying? So just consider that, you know what I'm saying? I know you are. We're going to take care of that. So verse 17. So shall ye say, wait. Verse 16. And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, thy father did command me before he died. Thy father did command before he died, saying, so shall ye say unto Yahweh. Don't pinch me. I heard you. Okay, go on. I just don't want you to pinch me. I'm trying to finish reading. I have to finish reading. Kaya, stop that. Go on. So ye shall sow, Genesis chapter 50, verse 16. And they sent a messenger unto Yahweh, saying, thy father did command before he died, saying, so shall ye say unto Yahweh, forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren, for their sin, for they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. Man, surely I am no Joseph, man. I can feel this. I can't even feel his pain. Joseph actually went through it. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face, and they said, behold, we be thy servants. And Yahweh said unto them, fear not, for am I in the place of Yahweh? Am I in the place of Allah? Am I in the place of God? Am I in the place of Elohim? Am I in the place of Af? Let's see. For am I in the place of Elohim? Am I in the place of the power? Almost. Verse 19. I want cereal. Genesis chapter 50, verse 9. I want cereal. Verse 20, Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but Allahia, God meant it unto good to bring to pass as it is this day, to save much people alive. All right. So this week's Torah portion, I know you want cereal. We talked about that, and that's something that we're gonna do. We're so right. What we're gonna do? Guess what we're gonna do? So right. Guess what we're gonna do? Come on. We're going to get cereal. Kaya, stop moving my chair. Sit back. Shop. Babu shop. Like that. All right. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We have to get cereal. Would you like some cereal? Yeah. All right, Con. I would like some cereal too. Do you want some milk with it or do you want it dry? I know you want cereal. Do you want dry cereal or do you want milk with it? You want milk? Yeah. You do? You would like some milk with it? Oh, you do want milk. Okay, thank you for letting me know. All right. First we can eat ice cream. No, ma'am. First, we're going to finish reading, and then we'll get our cereal. Then we can think about some sherbet. Okay? So we're going to finish reading. You're going to do what? What'd you say? What you about to do? Okay. Okay. Hurry up. No, I was going to help you go this way. Genesis chapter 12, 1 Kings chapter 12 and verse, 1 Kings chapter, 1 Kings chapter 2 and verse 1. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die. It was so important for me to read this part. And he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. and keep the charge of Yahweh the Elohim, the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as is written in the law of Moshe Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself, that Yahweh the Elohim may continue his word which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in truth with their heart with their heart and with all their heart and with all their soul, therefore shall there shall not fail thee, said he, a man on the throne of Yasharallah. Shadiah, come out of the kitchen. Sawada. Kayaya, La'a, you don't have permission to run back and forth. La'a, you can come and shop. Come. You can shop until we're done. Yes, ma'am. Would you like to get that? Go get it and come back. Kayaya, stay right here. So I go get it and come back. All right, verse 4. That Yahweh may continue his word which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in truth with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not fail thee, said he, a man on the throne of Yasher Allah. Moreover, thou knowest also what Joab, the son of Zuri, okay, go ahead, that's fine. Zuriah did unto me, and what he did unto the captains of the host of Yasher Allah, unto Abner, the son of Ner, say Ner,
Yeah.
and unto Amasa, say Amasa, the son of Jether, whom he slew. And Saraya, stop spraying that. Natalaba. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Who he slew and shed the blood of war in peace, La'ah, and put the blood of war upon his girdle, La'ah, that was upon his loins, and his shoes that were on his feet. Verse 6. Do therefore according to thy wisdom, 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 and let not his hoary head go down to the grave in peace, but show kindness unto the sons of Barzillai the Gileadites, and let them be of those that eat at thy table. For so they came to me when I fled because of Absalom, thy brother. And behold, thou hast with thee Shemael, the son of Gerar, the Benjamite of Salakia, let's scroll the screen up, of Barim, which cursed me with a grievous curse in the day when I went to Mahanaim, but he came to me and met me at Jordan, and I swear to him by Yahweh, saying, I will put thee to death with the sword. David was hot against that man. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Khan, it's almost time. Khan, we gotta finish reading this Torah. We almost done with it. We only got 3 more verses of this part, 4 more verses of this part, Khan. These 4 parts are almost done. All right. Now, therefore, hold him not guiltless, for thou art a wise man, and knowest what thou oughtest to do unto him. But his hoary head bring thou down to the grave with blood. So slept David with his Abiam, his fathers, and was buried in the city of David. And the days that David reigned over Yasharallah, were 40 years, even 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And he, don't touch the keyboard, he sat Solomon upon the throne of David, his father, and his kingdom was established greatly. Hallelujah. 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 Basham. Hamashayach. Yahushai. Barakatah. Wakal. Mashpacha. Nawa.
Nawa.
Halawaya.
Halaya.
A.
A.
Ba.
Ba.
Ga.
Da.
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 Ha.
Ha.
Wa.
Wa.
Sa.
Sa.
Ha.
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 Kra.
Ha.
Ra.
Ha.
Ra.
Great job. Ta.
Ta.
Ya.
Ya.
Ka.
Ka.
La.
La.
Ma.
Ma.
Na.
Na.
Sa.
Sa.
Ai.
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 Pa.
Pa.
Za.
Za.
Qua.
Pa.
Ra.
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 Sha.
Sa.
Fa.
Wa.
Excellent. Gospel portion. John chapter 13. We're going to start at verse 1 and read down to 19. John chapter 13, verse 1. Almost done. You see this little marker right here? Look, you see this little line right here? It's at 13. I'm going to show you this right here. All right, it's at 13. All right, it's right here. Yeah, I'm going to show you this right here. It's not very far down. It's at 19. All right, look. You see this right here? It's at 19. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna find so it's 19. Okay, boom, 19. So this right here is all we reading to. We're gonna read it right here. Okay, so look. I don't want to trick you, so we're gonna read from this down here. All right, and we're gonna read just this right here, just up from right here onto this part. It's not gonna be long. It's gonna be so edifying. It's gonna be so fun. That's it. It's only a little bit. See? Come. All right, let's get it.
And a bit.
Now, before the feast of the Pesach, the Passover, that's our next feast that we have coming up. All right. Passover, Pesach, Pascal. So get yourselves ready, get yourselves together, prepare yourselves for that. All right. Before the feast of the Pesach, the Pascal, when Yahushua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own, which were he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, the devil had now put his heart into Judas Iscariot. Man, did you go through that this week? Did any of you go through that this week? To where you have family members or friends, you see the devil jumping in, and they just bug out and have all kind of ridiculous words and things. They're Beelzebub jumping in and out of brothers and sisters right now, right? So it's nothing new under the sun. One of my brothers told me when you get around this time frame to Passover, the demons be jumping on people. You know, I've had some very interesting things said to me over the past couple of weeks. And I got to remember, if they hated Hamashiach, they hated me first. This is nothing but a test. All right, so let's get it. And the same thing for you. All right, so this happened to Hamashiach Yahushua. So since it happened to him, it's going to happen to you also. So be not surprised, even if it's your greatest friend. All right, they could have been to your father's funeral. They could have been to your mother's bar mitzvah. You could be the godparents of their children. You could be, you know what I'm saying, and the Satan jump in on them. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't. It's the time frame. Tis the season. All right. Verse 2. John chapter 13, verse 2. And supper being ended. Why the camera's not? Lie. Don't you touch nothing on the keyboard. As supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Yahushua knowing that the Father had given all things into his hand, and that he was come from God and went to God. He riseth from supper and laid aside his garments and took a towel and girded himself. And after he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel therewith he was girded. He cometh to Simon Peter, and Peter said unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? Yahushua answered and said unto him, what I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. Right here, this is the word that won't cry up here. Peter said unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahushua answered him, If I wash thy feet not, thou hast no part with me. And then we're going to go down to this line right here. See, it starts with S. It says Simon, right? And the next one says Peter. Simon Peter saith unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. That's right. Yahushua said unto him, He who hath washed, he that is washed, not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye are clean, but not all. Sadaya, nothing like that. Thank you so much.
I'm here.
You can have that one. Blow your nose with it. All right. Okay. All right. 13:10. Yahushua said unto him, He that is washed need not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit, and ye are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore said he, Ye are not all clean. So after he had washed their feet and had taken his garments and was set down again, yet said unto them, Know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me master and Lord, and ye shakwatch, and ye say, Well, for that I am. For if then I am your Lord and master, and have washed your feet, ye also shall wash one another's feet. All right. So it ain't no, oh, forget you, I hate you. We know Hebrew Israelites. We know brothers. Blah blah man. Meanie poo poo head. No. You're gonna do what Christ said. All right. If you want brothers to bow down to you, then you need to wash brothers' feet. All right. John chapter 13, verse 15. For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is greater than he that sent him. Verse 17. For if ye knew these things, happy are ye if ye do them. I speak not of you all. I know whom I have chosen. Excuse me, but that the scripture may be fulfilled, he that eateth bread with me has lifted up his heel against me. What does it mean to lift up your heel against your brother? It means to turn your back on your brother. You got a whole bunch of Judas Iscariot spirits going on right now. And I refuse to be one. I'm not a, you know what I'm saying? If somebody don't like me, all right, I watch it happen. But, you know, so you got a lot of Judas Iscariot spirits going on, and, you know what I'm saying, just expect it, and, you know what I'm saying, also keep doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? So verse 19, now I tell you before, Shaquats! Now I tell you before it come, that when it come to pass, ye may believe that I am he. Hallelujah. 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 All right. Kudash, holy, kudash, holy is the Lamb. All right, so for this portion of the Torah portion reading, that's the conclusion of it. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and end on that note. All right, anybody would like to build, just hit me up. All right, and it's time to eat. All right, go out for everything. Go out for everybody. All right, and Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy the Shabbat. Shalom.